with the fall in oil prices, you have a huge gap that needs to be filled somehow in order to maintain public services. And so we also got into the discussion about, well, maybe government should downsize, maybe government in Alberta is more expensive than, for example, British Columbia. And then there was quite a lot of discussion about the wages in the private sector in Alberta, which are normally much higher than in the rest of the country, and therefore public servants in Alberta should be paid wages that are similar to the levels in the private sector.
We have three options. We can either drastically cut expenditures when oil prices are low, or we can find other sources of revenue, or we can go into massive deficits. And my argument would be that for a number of reasons, we're better off to try and find alternative sources of revenue. The advantage with a sales tax is that it completely covers everyone. I think one of the other panelists here today mentioned that. The second thing is that it's a very stable source of revenue. It doesn't bounce around. It doesn't go up and down with the price of oil. And so we would have a stable source of revenue. We would be able to fund some of the services and programs that citizens really value. Now, the downside is that people don't like taxes. They don't like taxes partly because they don't link them to funding the services that they rely on. And that's partly because we've started to talk about taxes in a way that divorces them from funding services that citizens value. The second thing is they don't really trust government to spend the money well. So for governments, it's very difficult to argue for a sales tax because they fear the political backlash.